Hi guys. For those who don't know me, my name is Rachel Chandler. I have had a lot of questions and queries about an event that I'm going to be taking part in shortly, which is navigating for Rally Barbados 2025. I thought an easier way to sort of tell people about the journey was to maybe bring them along on it. I thought might be a nice idea, and then everyone can kind of get a feel, come along for the ride, pardon the pun, and sort of understand the background behind the rally, the preparation, alongside less serious stuff that is the celebrations and the community that you end up in over there. I'm going to quickly start off as a little bit of an advocate for the sport and particularly this event. Firstly, there are a lot of very, very friendly people within the rallying community. And especially at this event, it's kind of the same sort of people go back out year on year. It becomes a bit of a tradition for some people. And it really is something a little bit magical when you are over there. I'm also going to take a moment of this video to tell you my story because it is a little bit quirky, and I'm quite a big advocate for pushing people out of their comfort zones. And I feel like this story kind of speaks volumes as to why sometimes it's a really, really good idea just to push yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone. Probably about as far as I am doing this vlog right now, but there you go. So my story kind of started in, I think, about April time last year. I was set to get married on the 19th of May, and we were due to jet off afterwards to Barbados for 2.5 weeks worth of pure honeymoon bliss, watching the rally, taking my camera over, finding a nice little spot to watch the rally from, and get a little bit drunk on rum. Now, about 6 weeks prior to the Barbados trip, our good friend Nigel Warswick, unfortunately, due to quite sad circumstances, ended up not having a co-driver. Now, me being me and knowing how much time Nigel had spent on fixing the car up, and also his desire to go over in 2024 and take part in what was going to be the red car, blue car race, which is linked to the Milky Bar advert, but a bit of an inside joke, where Nigel and Phil Burton were going to race their blue Escort and red Escort and have the ultimate battle of red car, blue car. Because I didn't want him to miss out on this, I thought, to hell with it. Let's ring him up on a Tuesday evening and say, look, if you're mad enough to have me sat next to you as a complete novice, I will sit in that spot. And thus became the start of my journey and my debut in Rally Barbados 2024, the first time I'd ever officially co-driven. Prior to that, I'd like to just point out that I had literally sat in cars while they'd been test driven or the brakes bedded in. I had watched a lot of rallying and I had played a couple of rally games on my PC, but that is honestly it. So I got married, very beautiful day, and then we jetted off over to Barbados and competed in Rally Barbados 2024. Nigel knows the rally like the back of his hand, to be honest.
Just stick with me, kid. I know this town like the back of my hand. Hey, that's new.
So it was very comforting. I knew I was in safe hands. We finished 28th overall. We would have been 25th had we not have had an incident on one of the stages with a dog. Fortunately, did not get hit, but did slow us down for a minute because it didn't. And so yeah, so I think really realistically we did quite well. I know Nigel probably would have wanted to be a little bit higher up, but when you think about 110 odd entrants and only about 70 making it through in the end, 28th was a very respectable position, especially with a complete and utter novice. The blue car, red car race kind of ceased upon day one, if I'm honest. Sadly, Phil had some issues with his car and it running. Nigel's car wasn't quite there anyway. We were having misfiring issues. Last year, I was a little bit scared. Everything was very brand new to me. I had never competed, I'd never been involved. I lent a lot of I lent a lot on Dylan, who was Phil's co-driver, Rob Brooke, that sits in as well for Andrew, and a few other people that held my hand, guided me a little bit, and were a massive help. I didn't really show everyone. I didn't share photos. I have plenty that I can share now. At the time, it was a bit overwhelming and a bit insane. However, I think this year I'm a little bit more relaxed about the whole situation, relaxed about what I've actually got to do, and therefore think it would be quite nice to be a bit more involved in sharing the media side, the publicity, the fun, and just letting everyone see exactly what happened last year and what's going to happen this year. Over the next week, I might try do a couple of little snippets with other drivers or navigators, maybe do a couple of little videos of what their expectations are of the rally and how excited they are. Might not, given we aren't that far off the rally. So I might not have the time to do that, given I've probably left this quite last minute due to other commitments. But if not, I shall see you in Barbados.